Oh, so now we're live.
Now we're live.
Oh,
Not bad, right?
not bad.
Nobody watching.
How do you tell? Where do you look?
See in the top right. Oh, I should turn off the sound.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see the little two-player icon.
Live chat. There we go. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Maple Leaf Reviews, my very first live stream playthrough / teaching of a game. I'm Jeffrey. I'm joined with...
I'm David.
and we're going to be doing Clans of Caledonia today, 2-player. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to do a quick rules overview of the game, and then we're just going to dive right in. This is my first time doing it, so you have to bear with us if there's any technical difficulties. Hopefully the sound will be all right and everything will be clear for everyone. So let's get started with the rules. So the game is played out over 5 rounds. You can see here there's going to be end of round bonuses. On each round, you're going to alternate taking actions, one player then the other, until all players have passed. And there's 8 possible actions that you can do. You could pass if you don't want to do anything else. One of the main actions that you're going to be taking is expanding out on this main board here. And the way that you do that is you're going to be taking pieces from your player board and putting them out, and the cost is going to be indicated by the type of building that you're building, as well as any costs associated with the tile that you're placing it on. So at the beginning of the game, we're going to place out a few workers, which are going to earn us income, and then we can build out from there. And you can build anywhere either adjacent or according to your shipping. So if I had a miner here and I wanted to build across this river, well, I need to have my shipping up 1 level. The buildings that you build are going to unlock income for you. So if I put out a sheep, I'm going to be getting a wool at the end of every round. And you'll also have cows, which will give you milk, wheat, and money for your workers. There's also upgraded goods that you can get. So you'll notice there's cheese, bread, and whiskey. If you have, at the end of the round, we're going to produce, at the end of the round, if you have a milk, either through production or already in your personal supply, you'll be able to upgrade that milk into cheese. Likewise for bread, you can upgrade them either from your supply or from what you're producing that round into bread and whiskey. So just going back to the actions again, I could, let's say if I had a woodcutter out here, on my turn I could pay 8 for the sheep plus 4 for this tile, pay $12, place out a sheep. That's it, that's my action. Then it would go around to the next player. The other action that you can take is you can trade for goods on this market here. So every good is represented here with a price. If I want to purchase, I use my little cubes here and I could trade.
Your merchant.
My merchants. I can put it up top saying that I'm purchasing it. There's a price listed underneath, and then for every one that I purchased, that will then move up. So the more people are buying from the market, the more costly that type of good is going to get. And if I wanted to buy 2, I would buy 2 at that current price, and then it would move up 2 spaces. One thing to note when trading with your merchants is you can only ever do 1 type of good each action. So if I wanted to do wool this turn, I'd have to wait for it to come back around to me, and then I can do wheat the next turn. The other thing to note is that if you buy or sell a particular type of good, you cannot then do the opposite in that same round. So I'd have to wait for the next round in order to do that action.
But the situation might occur that you might purchase twice on 2 different turns.
So I could buy, and then when it came around to me again, I could purchase that same good again. The other thing that you can do is you can obtain these export contracts. That's where you're going to be able to turn the goods that you're producing locally and import kind of exotic goods, tobacco, sugarcane, and cotton. So the interesting thing about this is the earlier you take them, you're actually going to get some money. So if you take one in the first round, I don't know if you can see it here, but you get $5 from the bank. In the second round, you get nothing. But then in the third, fourth, and fifth round, you actually have to pay money, 5, 10, then 15 coins to take them. The cards have a cost of what you have to turn in on the left, and then you have a benefit of what you get on the right. Now, when you take the contract, you don't have to immediately fulfill it. It just goes and sits in your pool. You only have room for one, and then as an action on a future turn, that's another action you can do, is you could turn in the goods in order to get the benefit. Now, there's tobacco, sugarcane, and cotton. There's only one marker for each type, so it's not like each player is going to have their own representation of these. Instead, there's a communal pool of how much of these goods you're going to be importing into the game, and at the end of the game, they're going to be worth different amounts based on how rare they are. So the one that is the rarest is going to be worth the most points, and the one that is the most abundant is going to be worth the least amount of points. Also, some of these tiles have bonus money that you might get. You might be able to build on a tile without having to pay the actual cost. And then some of them even allow you to get a upgrade on the card. So the other action that you can take is you can do an upgrade down here on the bottom of your board. You could get more merchants. You pay $4. You get another cube. So that allows you to trade and buy and sell more goods. You can also upgrade your shipping so that you can hop across water, or even if you get high enough, you could go across a number of lock spaces. Then also over here, I mentioned these are the guys that are going to be earning you money, and money is how you do basically all the actions in the game. Your forest cutters can go on any hex that has wood. They earn $4 every round, and the miners go on to mountains, and they earn $6 every round. You could upgrade these so that they earn $6 for the woodcutters or $8 each for the miners. One thing to note is the merchants cost 4 to upgrade, the shipping costs 4 to upgrade, the income boosters here cost 10. If you do get a contract that gives you an upgrade, if you choose either shipping or merchants, it's free. But if you choose one of the income bump ones, you have to pay 5 instead of the 10. So you still have to pay some money for those. So I covered expanding. I covered obtaining these export contracts. You can hold only one. You can trade as an action. You can upgrade your shipping, hire a merchant, upgrading your technology, this is called, and you can fulfill an export contract and pass. Those are all the actions in the game. We're going to keep going around taking them until we pass. When someone passes, they move their thing down, so that'll also determine turn order for the next round. And also the person who passes first gets a little bit more money. In a 2-player game, that's 16 coins plus the 13 for second place. And then once everyone's passed, we go into end of round where we earn income for our people out on the board. We earn our goods, so here I would earn a wool, and likewise, if you have these uncovered, I could either take a milk, or I could take this milk and immediately upgrade it into a cheese, or let's say in this instance, if I had a milk already, I could just take the milk and upgrade it into a cheese from my supply. And then we're going to score these end of round bonuses. So this is also the point track here.
The glory track.
The glory track, which will convert to victory points at a 1-to-1 ratio at the end of the game. So this is where we're going to keep track of points that we earn throughout the game from these end of round bonuses. After 5 rounds, we go into a final scoring, which I'll just quickly run through here. You get points for leftover resources. Your glory converts to 1 point apiece. Also on the contracts, you'll see some hops. They're just straight up 1 victory point apiece at the end of the game. Based on how much of each resource, they'll determine the value. So again, the one that is most prevalent will be worth 3 points. The middle will be 4. And the one that is the least abundant on the board will be worth 5. And then you look at your contracts and count up how much of each of those resources you have and determine how many victory points you have. Whoever has completed the most contracts in a 2-player game is going to get 8 points, with 0 points for second place. And then finally, there's a settlement scoring. 12 points for the first place and 0 points for the second. The way settlement works is that it's distinct groupings of buildings that are separated by some type of water. So here, this would only be considered one settlement, but if I had this across the river, that would be considered two. And so you can build in ways that you don't link up certain buildings. So here, this will be one settlement, 2, 3. And at the end of the game, we're going to count up how many we have. Whoever has the most connected by your shipping. So if I had a shipping of, let's say, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I had another one over here, well, then that would be another connected settlement. Whoever has the most is going to get 12 points, and then 0 for second place. There's one other thing that you can take as a free action on the board. If you're adjacent to any of these port bonuses, you can use your port bonus marker to claim it once during the game, either before or after your action, either if you're adjacent or connected to it via your shipping. So if I had a shipping of 2, then I would be able to claim this bonus. And I think that's pretty much the game.
I have a few questions, Jeffrey.
All right, David.
I notice here there's some tiles here with multiple terrain types. Can I use the terrain type that I would prefer?
Yeah, so mountaineers can only go on the mountains. The woodcutters can only go on the forest. But some tiles, like this one here, has a mountain, a forest, and a green space. So all the other buildings have to go onto these fields. So this is just only mountain. I can't put a sheep to live on the mountain. There's just not enough grass up there for them. And there's too many predators in the forest for them to live if it's just a forest tile. So if there is multiple on a tile, you choose which one that you want to build there.
So can I put multiple guys on one tile?
Oh yes, that's an important. There can only be one piece per tile out on the board. And also in a 2-player game, the outside edges of the board are not available to be built on.
And I have one more question, Jeffrey, before
Yes.
we get started. What if I chose to build next to you?
That's a very good question. It's almost as if you've played this game before.
Almost, but the viewers won't think it once they see me actually play.
This is probably one of my favorite aspects of the game, is building next to other people, because it allows you to do actions a little bit more efficiently. So let's say if David built a building next to my sheep. It doesn't matter what type of building he used to build next to me. It only matters what he's building next to. So if he built next to a sheep, well, hey, he's building next to these nice sheep farmers. He can then buy wool from the market at a discounted price of $2 each for these basic goods, and $3 each if it was an advanced good. And you can do this up to 4 times. But you have to have the merchants in your supply ready to use. So it's not like you get to do it for free. You still need to use a merchant for each one that you're going to buy. The good thing about this, let's just say if I had a setup like that and David built here, this gets you around that rule of only buying one type of good each round. He built next to both cows and sheep. He could buy wool and he could buy milk both on the same turn because of him building next to my buildings. And
I have one more question, Jeffrey.
One more.
I noticed that some of the contracts have meat. What happens to... How do I get that meat?
So, for instance, here, this one has 3 bread. You have bread factories that you can build. It also has 1 mutton, and then there's also some that have steaks on it. If you look very closely above the sheep, there's a piece of mutton, and above the cows are going to be steak. So when you complete this contract, well, you have 3 bread tokens in your supply. If you want to get the mutton, buy sheep, and he goes back onto your board, ready to be built again.
Great.
All right.
Well, thanks for teaching me the game. I'm ready to play.
Let's play.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of a selection of your starting clans. We've already done that before we started the stream. I got Clan Campbell. My bonus is whenever I build any of these secondary production buildings, so either cheese, bread, or whiskey, that I pay less money the more of them I build.
And I got, I don't know if they can see it here, but I got Clan Mackenzie. And I like Clan Mackenzie because he basically gives me a whiskey cellar. So also there's some neat thematic text about this actual clan, because apparently they bought some whiskey distillery, which is known for its wonderful whiskey all around. And so then every time I produce a whiskey, I will get an additional $3. And then I can also choose to store every production round, add a whiskey into my cellar. And the longer I keep it in the cellar, then I can take it out later at any time for either $7 or $15.
You're aging it and making it better.
Yeah,
better
so I see that we might have a little bit of competition for whiskey, because you're incentivized also to be building whiskey. So we'll see how that plays out. I guess the one other thing we should add about the building, since
if you build all of one type of these secondary production buildings, you can draw 3 export contracts from the stack instead of taking one from this pile here, and you get to choose one and take. That's only if you have space in your export contract bin here, and you still have to pay the money or get the benefit depending on the current round that it is.
No, frankly speaking, at first I thought I didn't like this at all, because it didn't seem to me like a benefit. Like you go, okay, I worked so hard to get all the way down these production buildings, but now I still have to pay. But then I realized in future games that I really liked it, because these contracts don't flush out like, say, like a Voyages of Marco Polo.
They need to be taken in order to get new ones.
So sometimes you can get stalemated and they're stuck with those, and so to get something fresh that you might like, this is an interesting way to get it. And sometimes you'll get a tile that allows you to do that as well, one of those 4 tiles. But in this game, I see we don't have it.
All right, so starting with you, you're going to get to place out one of your either woodcutters or miners, and then I'll get to place out 2, and then you place out a last one, and we'll still have to pay for those placements initially.
Right. So I haven't really had a chance to check out the board here. And this is the only time that we can actually place our guys separate from each other.
And then we'll build it from those afterwards.
Yeah. You know what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put a mountaineer over in this space right there. So that will cost me $14.
I will do that there. That costs 11, and that's shut off.
Do you want me to? So
you'll have to also bear with us.
So how do I do this?
Just switch it off and then on. Yeah, with a little twist thing.
Oh.
And then on the back, there's a little button. Yeah, the camera that we have looking at us.
The LV button.
The LV button. And that should come back on. It cuts out every 20 minutes, so we'll just have to go back and forth, unfortunately. All right, and that cost me $11 to place a dude there. And then I get to place my second one. Now, so what I'm looking at is I wanted to be over here because I want to be close to that port bonus. And is there any other port bonuses that I want to be close to, plus taking into account the cost of the tiles where I'm going to be building? Let's go and place another miner here. So it's $10 for the miner plus 2 for the hex.
And the other thing, I thought that maybe Jeffrey was going here because it's nice to be close to each other for that neighborhood bonus. So now that he's gone over there, I wasn't originally looking over that part of the world, but now I'm mildly interested.
There's good real estate over here.
Yeah, there's good real estate, but I don't know what kind of neighbor you're going to be. And one thing Jeffrey likes doing is throwing wrenches, his words not mine, into gameplay. So I think I'm going to find myself a nice little central pasture over here and then just sort of see how it plays out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over here. Again, for 10 plus 3 is $13. Okay. All
right, and then now we start out the round, starting with David. He's the first player, and we're just going to take actions back and forth until everyone passes.
And I guess one thing that we should have added is when you choose your clans at the beginning, you also get a kind of random setup of some goods or extra money or something like this. Yeah. And I happen to get extra wool and extra bread, and that was good because I noticed that this contract over here calls for 1 wool and 2 bread. So that seemed to be well on my way to achieving that. So I will take that. Plus I will take $5.
And then my first action is going to be also to take an export contract and get a $5 bonus as well.
Now, what I would like to do is I would like to. What's the bread costing me right now? $10. Maybe I can get a contract done right away and then expand my domain. But the other thing I need is I need a whiskey and I need wheat. Lots of it.
Lots of it.
So I think what I'm going to do is I am actually going to buy one bread. So I'll take the merchant action with one of my available merchants. I'll put him here, and I'll pay $10 for the privilege of doing so.
And then it'll go up. Now it's 11.
There we go.
So the bonus for this round is for every 2 workers that we have out on the, for every worker that we have out on the board, we're going to earn 2 glory. But I want to get a sheep out, so I'll pay 8 plus 1 is $9 to put a sheep right there.
Okay, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got my contract. I have got 2 bread and 1 wool. So I will accomplish my contract. I'll put it off to the side. So in doing so, sugarcane moves up 2. The other thing we should add as well is if you're responsible for moving one of the imported goods, whether it be sugarcane, cotton, or tobacco, past a multiple of 5, you gain an additional $1.
Just a little bonus.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you need. That's just the difference you need. But and then I'll have 3 hops at the end of the game. The main reason why I really wanted this was this expansion bonus. And I think what I want to do is I definitely need some whiskey. And we don't have that extra 5 one for Give Glory this round, do we? I mean, this game. No, we don't. No. Okay. Well, I'm going to expand nonetheless. So I need whiskey. So I'm going to take my whiskey barrel. I'm going to expand someplace rich. So I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go here. Actually, I'm going to go. Now everyone can see my indecision. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I like coming over here. So this is free because of my bonus here. I don't pay the hex, but I still am obliged to pay that. So I'll pay $10 for my whiskey.
And then I'm going to. So as a free action, I'm adjacent to this port. I can lose any 1 basic good, which is wheat. I'll lose the wheat, and then I get 3 basic goods. So I pay 1 basic good, and I get that. And I will take 3 wheat back. So I spent 1 wheat and I got 3. And that was just a free action. And then I'm going to complete my contract. So I need to kill a sheep for a mutton. And then I need to spend a cheese to the bank. I'll get this one completed, which puts up cotton 2. I get $10. And then I can build on a hex for free. I will build a miner here, so I don't have to pay the $4. But I do have to pay the 10 for him. Now that also helps me get more money at the end of the round, as well as this end of round bonus. He's going to give me 2 glory himself.
Good
choice. That is my action.
My go. Now, I've been too loose and fast and furious with my money, so I don't have enough to put out wheat. So I do want to make some whiskey at the end of this round. So I will go and I'll purchase some wheat here. So that goes up 1, and I'll buy it for $5, and I'll take a wheat.
So now I think I'm going to take another contract. I will take this guy here. And because it's still the first round, I get $5. Mm-hmm. So it really pays to get these done earlier and often, because then you're going to be earning even more money from them.
Michael?
Yeah.
Now, I also want a contract. I should have done that last time because I had first choice.
Yeah.
But I don't like these contracts that are competitive with my wheat, because I want to use my wheat to be making whiskey because of the clan that I'm in. So then I think what I'm going... But I also don't like these contracts that don't give me any bonuses early on.
I know.
Like I like to be able to expand out for free. So I'm going to ignore this guy. And this one's a bit of an expensive one. But it's 7 hops.
That is quite a bit.
Now here's the other thing with picking contracts is like once you take it, you can't flush it.
Right.
Which sucks if you get something that's you're stuck on for a while.
You signed the deal.
Yeah, you signed a deal, and they said, "Hey, listen, you got to fulfill this." So I am going to. Yeah, I'll take this one,
and
I'll get $5.
Now, back to me. I think, let's see, I'll have a look at my money. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how much I have. So for $7, 6 plus the 1 tile, I'm putting out another dude right there.
Yeah, you're doing well for your glory here. My turn?
Your turn.
I want to... I can go there. I'm $2 short. Story of my life. I think what I will do... I can only make 1 whiskey this turn, so I'm going to start working on this wool. So I will put out a sheepy, and I'm going to put him here. That'll cost me $9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go.
So I think it's time that I start taking advantage of my clan's ability. So my clan allows me for the first one of each of these production buildings, I get 3 off. So this is 8 minus 3, so that's $5 plus the hex cost of 3. So that's going to be $8 total to put out a bread factory there. Now, even though I'm not producing wheat on my board, I have a bunch of wheat stored up so that I'll still be able to make that bread, which then I'll be able to use to complete this contract.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I'm kind of being a little bit inefficient with my building because now that's only still 1 settlement for end of game scoring with 4 buildings. So ideally, you kind of want to be building different settlements across water every time you're building.
Or in this particular case, I put my sheep here because once I can go across, maybe I can butcher him and still get this guy to there, and then he doesn't cost me a settlement later.
Yeah.
But early innings.
Yeah.
My go? I think what I would like to do is I would love to build another sheep. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I don't have... I could build them over there. And that gives me my 2 wool that I need. And it flushes me out right out of cash. I was tempted also to try to go over here, add a guy to get more income and also get 2 more glory points.
That's true.
But I want to flush this out and I want to get this upgrade. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put another sheepy over here. So that's going to cost me 8 plus 1 is $9, and that's exactly what I have.
I'm going to build another one of these. Now my second one of each is 4 less, so that's 4 plus 1, so that's $5 for that bread factory. It's a very cheap bread factory.
Yeah, well, I look forward to coming to build beside you. So I have no money left. So that means I pass, and I get $16 for passing first.
And then I just keep going, taking actions till I also pass. Now, I think I want to get another bread factory out. The question is, where do I want to do that? I think first what I'll do is I'll spend $4, and I will upgrade my shipping so I can go across rivers. And then my third of a type is still $4 off, so that's 4 plus 2, so that's $6 for that bread factory to go there. And I was able to do that because it's across the river and I upgraded my shipping, and I'm just $1 shy of being able to do something else. But here's what I will do. So I'm going to be producing 3 bread, so I need 3 wheat for that. Since David sold some bread, it's worth a little bit.
No, purchase
some wheat. It's worth a little bit extra. So I will sell this for $6. That then drops the price back down to 5. And then for my next action, I will place out another woodcutter or maybe, no, I don't have enough for that. So I'll do this one here for $7 more. That's going to be more money.
Remind me again how you got so much wheat.
I took this.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that. Okay.
And then that is it for me. So I pass. I get $13.
Nice round, Jeffrey.
So now we go into the end of round. Once everyone's passed, we get our income. So we look on our boards here. I'm going to get $26.
I will get $12.
Then we do our production. So the only thing I'm producing is bread, but that cost me my 3 wheat to get 3 bread.
And I'm going to, I have a whiskey production building, but I had a wheat in my supply here, so I'll trade that directly for a whiskey. But since I made a whiskey with Clan Mackenzie, I gain an additional $3 because it is a superior product.
It is a superior
It is a superior product. And I also have the option during the production phase to put him into my cellar.
So he can start aging.
Yeah, he can start aging.
Then we check the end of round bonus. So it's for number of workers out on the board. We're going to get 2 each. I have 5 people out. So that is 10.
And I only have 4 people out.
You only have 2 people out.
Oh, pardon me. Yeah, for 4 points.
Yeah,
for 4 points. Yeah.
Now, I just want to mention that this $1 bonus is only for these imported goods going across, not your glory going across those thresholds. Then we flip this over to show that that round is done. We refill the contracts. Look at all that whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Then we take back our merchants. And then we go into the actions again. So we'll just do the same thing for the next 4 rounds.
And this time contracts are free.
Free.
We don't receive money, we don't pay money.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I have a bit of an idea what I'd like to do. I think it's going to involve upgrading my shipping. I need 22 there. Need 4 there. I'm not going to make it, Jeffrey.
Not enough money?
No, I definitely need to get some wheat going. But so
the thing about wheat is, so it produces 2 every round, but it costs $18.
There's a reason why I bought it last time. Okay, and I need a cheese, and cheese is what, $10 right now?
$10 a cheese.
Maybe I can get that through this. So that would cost me 10. Finish him. I can upgrade him. Sorry, folks, I'm figuring this out. I think I can do this and get my wheat going.
Do it.
Yeah, and what is the what's the production bonus here? It's 1 for everything you produce.
Yeah.
Plus, is it 2 for wheat? I believe that tile is also.
Yeah. So
Okay.
on the board, there's little plus symbols next to each of the goods. So you count up how many of those plus symbols are on this part of your board here, and then that's how many points we'll get at the end of this round.
Yes. So I believe I'm just thinking out loud here. So if I can buy a cheese for 10. I'll finish this guy off. I'll upgrade him. Then I can build
Across the river.
Yeah, but still that's going to be 22, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, $21.
$1 short. Sell a wool.
No, but the wool.
You need
I
the wool.
require the wool, but I also would require this thing. So I really don't want to complete this contract, to be honest with you. So, son of a gun. I think what I will do then is just go. Let's just 15, 16, 17, 18 plus 3 is 21. So I can do that. Okay, so that's what I'll do. I'm going to build wheat over here.
So 18 plus 3, $21.
Yeah, so 15, 21.
All right, I am going to, I think, also build a wheat. And that's going to cost me $22. Now I'm going to build it right here so that I can get the neighbor bonus. So this is going to produce me 2 wheat, but I need 3 in order to get all my bread production going. So I'm going to purchase one, not for 5, but for 2 off of that for $3. I'll get that wheat. So now I'll be able to fully run my bread factories this turn. And then now this goes up by 1.
Okay. This might not actually be horrible for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade my shipping by 1. So that's going to cost me $4. So 10. There we go. And it zoink. So now I can build across rivers.
Nice. I'm going to also upgrade my shipping for 1. So I can go 1 space.
Always got to keep ahead of me, don't you,
Yeah.
Jeffrey? All right, fine. I will also upgrade my shipping again. So 5 for $4, and that goes zoink. And then on my turn, I can take this now because now I'm 1 away. So to show that I've actually used this, I will just put a little token there off to the side.
And one thing to note is that these are not first come, first serve bonuses. Each player can still do them once.
Yeah, and so in that way, I got $10. I'm
You're
back in the game.
thinking exactly like I am. I'm gonna upgrade again, so I can be 2, and then I can go 1, 2 here and take $10 back.
Okay. Now I've got choices here again. The other cool thing that I like about my situation is if I don't do anything done with my sheep, they're producing more wool next time.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think I'm getting this contract done this turn because I don't want this to use my whiskey, and I don't really want to go buy my a cheese. So maybe what I can do is sell them. But I've been waiting to see if you needed to buy any wool, but I don't see any on your. So you could drive the price up a little bit.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like you're too excited about buying any wool. And not a lot of contracts have. There's only 2 with wool on them. They don't really offer any bonuses right now. So I think I know the answer what you're going to do. So instead, I'll just go here and I'll sell both wool for $8.
And then it drops down to there.
Oops, and I should return it.
For $9, 8 plus 1 for the tile, I will place a sheep out there.
Okay.
One other thing that I take into account is where am I building my animals? I want to build them on the cheap tiles because you're oftentimes going to be killing them, bringing them back, and then repaying them out again. So you don't want to be paying that like $4 or $5 cost multiple times.
Yeah, and ideally what would be nice is like even like here, for example, if I butcher this guy, now this will turn into 2 settlements. But then if I can somehow get my shipping 1 more so I can connect up to one of these guys, and that allows me to work on my settlement bonus at the end. So, and then similarly with this guy, if he can come out, so I can start separating these out, and plus they're on cheap ones. So that's what I'm thinking right now. But now that I told Jeffrey, then but it's for you guys watching, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if I win or lose. So I think what I'm going to do is I love all these rivers around here for exactly what we're talking about. There's a lot of opportunity to create
lots of different settlements.
A lot of different settlements down here. Plus, I can work my way down to this bonus here. So I think I'm going to do that. And I got 2 wheat being generated, so it'd be a shame if I didn't turn that into whiskey this turn. So I am going to build over here a whiskey. So it's going to be. Do I get that?
Yeah. And then the live button.
Yep. So, train wreck of thought. What was I doing? Where am I? Okay, so I'm building my whiskey here for a total of $14, which I have right here. $14. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, I think I'm going to complete my contract. That's 3 bread and a mutton. And then I complete this one. So sugarcane goes up by 4. So that passes the $5 threshold. So I get a bonus $1. And that is it. No special bonuses on that tile for me.
Okay, well, it gives you a chance to get a freebie here before the end of the round, I guess. Now, I have $6 left, which isn't a whole heck of a lot of money, is it? Not in this game. So basically, that's reduced me to the either upgrading my merchant or upgrading my shipping. And your shipping is currently at 2. I do like that option of the shipping, but I seem to be buying and selling a lot. Let's see, 1. I'm going to take a merchant. Yeah, so I'm going to pay $5, and I'm going to take an extra merchant. See if I need to use it next round.
So I'm going to take another contract because take them while they're still cheap, right? Let's take this guy here. Then I pay nothing, and I get nothing.
Okay, so I have nothing left to do, so I will pass, and I'll receive $16 for passing first.
So the benefit of being more efficient with your actions, not only do you get first crack at the contracts next turn, but you also get a little bit more cash.
That's his polite way of saying, because honestly, here's what something that happens in this game is the first time you play this against somebody, then you burn through your money so fast. He calls it being efficient. I call it being not making a lot of money. And then the next guy just runs on for like 3 turns in a row and does all this cool stuff, and there's nothing you can do about it. And meanwhile, I gained an extra $3 to you.
There you go.
But in a 4-player game, it's huge. What's the difference? Like $8 between first pass and last,
fourth, yeah.
and fourth.
These are double sided. So this is the 2-player market and export contract, and then they're 3 and 4-player on the other side. So they're slightly different. I will spend 7, 6 plus 1 to put another woodcutter into my employ out there on the board. And then it's back to me. I only have $3. I have a wheat. I don't want to sell it, so I will pass for 13.
Nice round. And one thing I don't like about what Jeffrey's doing here is he's taking me like if I jump across here, there's no bonus for me.
Yeah, you don't get any bonus for building next to woodcutters and miners.
Yeah, but I got a few options here, I guess. But
so now we get our money income. I'm gonna get $30.
I get 12. Woo!
Then we.
That's another reason why I passed first, because I'm getting way less money than you.
we produce goods, so the 2 here plus the 1 that I had in my supply is gonna earn me 3 bread.
I get 2 wool and I get 2 wheat, which I'm immediately going to transfer into whiskey, which will earn me $6 for my high quality whiskey. And then I'm going to, now we're in the production phase, I got to move this whiskey down 1. I'm going to add another one in.
They're easy.
So now I got a whiskey I can take out worth $7 at any time.
Now we do the end of round scoring. So looking here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goods being produced. So that's going to be 5 more glory.
I have 6.
And then 6 put you to 10. We refill the contract. And then take our merchants back. Then we're on, flip this over, and then we're on to the 3rd of 5 rounds. So now this round bonus is going to be 1 point for every upgrade that we have. That's including merchants that we've purchased, shipping that we've upgraded, and any of these technologies that we've upgraded.
And I was actually last round looking ahead to this because I've been trying to work my way down to here, which is a free upgrade.
Yeah.
So when I saw that one, my mid-game goal was to get here by this time. So
I think you'll do it.
I hope so. That's a cheap one, and it makes sense that I should be there. So I really need to get some milk going or some cheese. And again, cheese is still $10.
Yep.
Cheese. Okay. But my income is hurting. I think what I'm going to do is what are the new... Nobody wants any mutton. They all want steaks now.
Mm-hmm.
And these Caledonians, they can't make up their minds what they want imported. There's not a lot of in-game bonus right now, is there, on those?
Mm-hmm.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build, and I'm going to build. Where's that guy I was looking at? Okay, so build another wheat. And that's for every 2 processed goods the next round, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll build another whiskey for $11 because I'm going to build it right here. So that's $10, $11.
And then take the bonus?
Yeah, exactly. So now this is within my shipping distance, so I will take the bonus. I get 3 glory, thank you. And I get an automatic free upgrade. Now, there's something I want to do here, which I think I can do, and I just double checking. Let's see how much money. That's going to be 8 times 4. That's way too much money for me. So I got 22 for $25. That might be fun. 25. And then so if I can get this 1, 2, 3, 8 times 4 is 30. So 8 times 3 is 24. I could buy 3 of those if I really wanted to. But I'll be out of money. So instead, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pay, because of this bonus, I can pay my $5.
Yep.
And I can flip this guy. That's what I'll do.
All right. I'm going to build a sheep. Now, I'm going to build him, I think, right here. So that's going to be $11 for that sheep. Now the reason I'm building there is because I want to get that access to that cheap whiskey, getting it on the black market. So I will purchase for $3 less, so for $8, get 2 back. I'll purchase 1 whiskey from there. And do I want a second one? I think I'm happy with that for now. So I'll just buy the 1.
Okay. Michael?
Here we go.
Maybe I need to expand out into cheese.
Well, there's nobody in the cheese
Yeah,
business.
there's no one in the. But look at the contracts. There's no. I'm
No
not
need
really.
for cheese.
Yeah, there's no need for cheese. A lot of bread. Maybe I gotta. You're heavily into the bread. I think what I'd like to do is if I do 15, 18. Maybe I can build a cow. 9, 13, 10. So I do 13 with the cow. Then what I can do is I can buy some wheat. And the wheat would be at $4 a shot, right?
Yeah.
Well, the cow is one too expensive. I'll be $1 short. So instead, we will put a sheep. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to expand out. I'll put a shoot. I really want that cheese. I feel like I just need to buy the cheese and
Just
get on.
just
and,
buy the cheese.
Buy the cheese and get on with life. I think that's what I need to do. So I will. Let's just do that for the time being. You don't have a cow out there at all, do you?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not in the dairy industry.
Okay, so I'll buy a cheese for
$10.
$10.
No, it moves up.
And then I'll take it here.
So now, so I think it's time to, let's complete this contract here. So there's going to be 1 sheep for a mutton, 2 bread, and and a whiskey to complete this one. So that puts cotton up by 3. Oh look, I get another bonus buck.
Nice.
And then I can build on a hex without having to pay the hex cost. I'm going to build here, and I'm going to build my last bread, and that's $5 off. So that's only going to cost me $3.
Nicely done.
Now, because that was my last one of that building type, I get to take 3 contracts from here and choose one. And these are not the greatest things I've ever seen. So let's see here. Yeah, these are pretty bad. Let's do this one.
Oh, hey, earthquake.
I think that's everything's max. Let's take this one. Now, even though I got this through this bonus, I still have to pay the $5 to take that contract. And then the other 2 go on the bottom of the stack.
Oh, you love butchering your muttons. One thing, sometimes there's a end of round glory bonus for meat, and that's always nice when you can get lots of meat on your contract there. Okay, Michael.
Here we go.
Huzzah! I'm going to do this contract. So I got 2 wool, I got a cheese, and I got a whiskey. Hooray!
Sugarcane goes up by 2.
Yeah, and then and then so sugarcane goes by 2. I got 7 hops for the end of the game, but I get 1 free upgrade. And I'm not sure I think what I will do is I will I think I'm going to upgrade my shipping. Yeah, I'll upgrade my shipping by 1. Gives me 2. It starts opening up possibilities for me.
So now, at this point in the game, like about halfway through, that's when I really start, well, I should be starting from the beginning. I really start thinking about getting the most settlements, because especially in a 2-player game, a 12-point difference between first and second, that's essentially a 24-point delta there. So I'm thinking about spreading out more, and I want to get more money. So let's do $11, 10 plus 1 to put out a guy there.
Mm-hmm. Michael?
Yep.
I'm going to...
I'm being a bit inefficient. I'm not liking it.
Yeah, I think I want to get a contract here. I think I will go for maybe the wool, the bread, and the whiskey. That doesn't look horrible, does it? I'm making a bunch of wool, but I'm trying to find the mutton chops here. Making a bunch of wool. I've got some whiskey to spare. Yeah, let's. And I get some. It gets me in the tobacco game and gets me some hops. So let's do that. So that'll be $5.
And then now for me, since I have all of my miners out, I would love to upgrade that technology, but I only have $9.
Oh, but you have a bread and a merchant.
But I have bread and a merchant, so since the bread is not doing anything for me now, I will sell that for $11, and then that drops the price of bread down.
Very nice. Okay, Michael.
Here we go.
Okay, let's see. I've got $5 left, but I could use this barrel for an additional $7 should I choose to do so. But I would love to have them worth 15 next round. So maybe I just need to be patient. We are going to, for every upgrade we get. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay. What's the wheat being sold for? $6?
$6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. That's a problem. Okay, is there another way I can get that $1? There's nothing I can sell.
You can take off that whiskey.
Oh, but it's worth so much more next round. I could do an upgrade that gives me a point.
That's true.
But, man, oh man. Yeah, I will do an upgrade. I'll pay $4 and I will take a merchant. Actually, I did a merchant last time. I'm not using him. So I will
do shipping
to...
Very easy. $10. I'm going to upgrade my mining technology to dynamite.
Nice.
Now each of these guys are giving me $8 instead of $6 a piece.
I will pass for $16.
You like passing first?
Well, that's just your way of saying you're broke. Clan Mackenzie's always broke. We're just waiting for our aged wine whiskeys to finally hit the mark.
Now this is the thing that it breaks my heart right now because I'm only producing 2 wheat, but I have the capacity for 4 bread. So really 2 of those is wasted. I could upgrade here and buy 1, but you know what? I think let's just go all in, spend $10 and upgrade my axes to saws.
Yep.
So I can get even more money for the next couple rounds.
Right.
And then that is it. I'm going to pass for $13.
Yeah, I'm a similar situation. I produce 2 wheat, but I have 3 whiskeys that I want to get going.
So now we produce our monies. This is awesome because I'm producing $50.
I'm producing 16.
And then we produce our goods.
So
I will just get 2 bread.
I get 2 wool and 2 whiskeys. And so that gives me an additional $6. And I'm going to move my whiskeys down. Age them up.
So now for every upgrade, we're going to gain 1 glory. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I also have 5.
So I'm staying just ahead.
Yeah.
On the glory. This flips over. We get a new contract.
Please be good.
That is a good one.
You need a lot of cows out there.
Get our merchants.
Thank you.
And then again, starting with David.
Okay. Okay, so now I have $15 at my disposal. Additional.
This is where you start getting more powerful. So you're not making as much money every round, but you do have the ability to take off $22 worth of whiskey right now.
Yep. So, yeah, exactly. But it's always nice to keep that guy just a little longer. So what I think I would like to do is there's some options here in terms of how I can actually pay for things. I think what I want to do is I want to unfortunately, I don't want to take this guy off quite yet because I want to get because if I take this guy off, my contract position is full. I cannot take advantage of that benefit.
Right.
So I want to complete my contract before I get him, which is unfortunate because that's where I want to build him. But we will do this anyhow. I need more wheat. I'm going here. Yes, I'm going to go here. So that's going to cost me $22. Do I really want to do that? No, we'll do it anyhow. But here's the cool thing: is now I can buy bread and wheat for cheap.
Yep.
So bread I can get for $7, and I will choose to do that, and I will buy with my guy. I will buy. I think I want to buy 2 bread.
Do it.
So if I go here, I can buy 2 bread for $14.
For 14, and then that bumps up. Would you also like to buy a wheat?
I do not have wheat is for $4.
You have 3.
Don't have the money, but I got now enough wheat to make my whiskeys. So
there you go. I'm going to spend $20, 18 plus 2, so I can get this thing out here, so I don't have to worry about not being able to run my bread factories.
Nice.
What about you?
I'm going to complete a contract. It seems like that's what the kids are doing. So I got a wool, I have a bread, and for giggles, I'm going to leave this whiskey here. I'm going to take this whiskey for $15. So,
Nice.
But that's what I need. So I'll take $15 for that whiskey that I just sold.
Tobacco is finally being imported.
Yeah, if tobacco's coming in, I got some hops for next time. Yay!
Woohoo! So I need to start getting mutton out. So let's do that. So for $9, 8 plus 1, let's get this here. They can see all the carcasses of their former friends who have lived on that field.
It's like the elephant kill grounds in Lion King.
Yeah.
Right. I have some choice. So now it's $10 to buy a contract, is it not?
It is. So that's why it's nice having like $50.
Very nice. There's a contract there that works very well for me. But it doesn't give me any in-game bonus. Like I like this one below with the cows and the because I get 2 upgrades plus $10.
So essentially that contract pays for itself. You pay 10 to get it, and then you'll get the 10
well,
back.
if you don't count all the cattle you just slaughtered. I may not want to pick that up right away because it severely limits what I'm going to do for the rest of the round. So I think what I might do, and even if I expand with my whiskey, then I won't have enough money to actually pay for that. So what I need to do first
is fix the camera.
Oops.
That's the one thing. If I get an upgrade,
Unable to start live. Please wait for camera to cool.
It's overheated.
Oh.
So we'll just have to let it sit. You won't be able to see us for a while. Trust us that we're still here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back.
Oh, will it automatically?
Yeah, just maybe turn it off.
Okay. Just leave it off.
Just leave it off.
Okay.
So just trust that we're still here. You can still see the board. You just can't see our beautiful faces for a little while.
Right. Okay, Jeffrey. I need money. Money. What's Oh yeah, I've already purchased bread, so I cannot sell it.
You cannot sell.
So that answers that question. Whiskey is selling for $12.
Mm-hmm.
It's not horrible. I will sell one of my whiskeys
for $12.
For $12.
So I want to put out a cheap dude. So for another 9, 8 plus 1, I'll put out another sheep right here. And I'm done.
Okay. See, the problem with playing with Jeffrey is he's way too fast. And I think he thinks I'm way too slow.
No, see, the thing is that because you're so slow, it gives me all the time to think about my action. So my action seems like it's actually fast, but in reality, I've spent just as much time thinking about it as you have.
Gotcha. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay $11, And I'm going to use my shipping, or I can move down here to this single space.
Yeah.
So I'll go here and I'll put my last whiskey distillery, and that allows me to take 3 off the top. And
you paid the cost?
Well, I paid the cost for that, but here I get to choose.
And then you'll still have to pay the 10.
And I got the 10 in case I find something useful. So let's see what we got here. Eesh. I really should get into cheese, but neither one of us really care about cheese this game, it seems.
That's the one thing, like, you can build up the production. So if one of us went heavily into cheese, you're kind of limited sometimes by what comes out here. If people aren't taking enough contracts, more aren't being added. So really there's no demand for cheese. But the good thing, even if there isn't demand for cheese, you could always sell that then for money to potentially buy the stuff that they're looking for with these contracts.
I'll give those back to you. And I will pay $10 for this contract. I'll go in on wool and cheese and figure out how I'm going to do that.
So I'm going to complete my contract. That's 2 sheep gone. That's 2 mutton. That's all this contract requires. Tobacco is being imported some more. And I get to build on a hex without having to pay the cost. Now, I want to go somewhere where it's expensive and gives me more benefit. But what do I want to build? Now, let's just get another wheat going. What do you say to that?
Yeah.
I don't think that might hinder me, though. Let's do it, though. Let's put it up here, so I don't have to pay the 5 for the hex, but I still have to pay the 18 for that. And that was my action.
Okay.
So I don't have enough money to take another contract.
My go?
There you go.
I think what I want to do is I wish I could put another dude. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where is there a cheap forest? Right there. Instead, I'm going to go there. So I'll get this guy out there, and I'll pay $6, $7, and I'll bump him over there. Now, sadly, I cannot take advantage of the neighborhood bonus.
So I am going to sell 1 bread. I think I want to do that. Actually, you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's sell 2 bread for $22.
Nice.
And that drops it down like that.
And I will pass.
Again.
Yeah. Whoops. But look at all that money you got left over there.
So now I will spend 10 to take a contract.
Here, I'll see if this works now.
Then I will build. Let's get in the whiskey, shall we?
And we're back.
Woohoo! Whiskey. So let's spend $14 and get a whiskey out there. Oh, actually, that's $3 less for me. Nice.
Nice.
And then I still have $8 left. So close to being able to do something. Actually, you know what? Let's get another whiskey barrel out because that's going to be $6 and 2 for the hex to build him right here. So that's another settlement as well as another whiskey. So I'm taking full advantage of all the wheat that I'm producing. And then I will pass for $13.
Nice. Good turn.
And then we go into money production. Again, I'm getting 50.
I got 16. I got 20. Moving up.
Then we produce goods. So all 6 of my wheat are going to make me 4 bread and 2 whiskey.
I got 2 wools, and all 4 of my wheat will make me 4 whiskeys, which will give me an additional $12. Plus, I gotta bump these guys down.
Then we check out the end of round bonus. So for every 2 processed goods, so whiskey, bread, and cheese, you're going to get 3. So I have 3 sets. So that's 9.
I have 2 sets. 3.
But these also.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So 1, 2. Yes, 2 sets. Because I need. Is it 3? Oh, every 2.
So
2, 4, 6. Yes.
So you're also 3 sets for 9. So again, just nipping at my heels.
Yeah, but not in terms of money.
With the glory.
Yeah.
Then we flip this over.
Yep.
Add new contract.
Is this the last round?
And then we're into the last round.
No!
So one thing to note is that at the end of the game, we're going to get 1 point for every basic good that we have left in our supply. 1 point for every $10. 1 for every 1 processed good, we're going to get 2 points, and then our glory converts 1 to 1. So we're still going to have another production round at the end of the game, but it'll basically be just turning into points. We won't be able to do anything with it. So now it is you first again.
I don't like how the settlements look. I'm way behind you there.
So one thing that we can do now is count the settlements since this last round. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 currently connected. These are not connected up. So
no, they're within your ship. Oh, you're within your shipping.
I'm not.
Oh no, you need 3. Okay.
So this is what these are for keeping track of how many settlements you have at the end of the game. David has 1, 2, 3, and is connected up here. So that's 4, 5, 6. He's also at 6.
Yeah, but that's all of my stuff. It takes Jeffrey 1 upgrade, and now he adds an additional 3, and he'll be at 9, just like that. So, that's a problem for me. This contract's a problem. There's a lot of problems I have going on right now.
There's a lot of solutions over here on this side of the
board. Yeah, so I think Jeffrey's got this game in pretty good control.
And now at the end of the game, we're going to get 1 bonus point, 1 glory, for every imported good that we have on contracts that we've completed.
Okay. What's the new contract that came? So first things first. I think
Is that the first thing?
Yeah. This is something. And there's no place I can really get a benefit from you. Ooh, there's bread. I think I have to just bite the bullet, go up here, and for $33, buy 3 cheeses.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. Probably not a good use of my money, but let's do it.
That's pretty good.
Let's just let her buck. Let her buck.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I was hoping you wouldn't do is build here.
Oh, to go take that bonus.
Because now I can build here and block you off from getting that bonus.
Well, there's still some fleeting hope
that you can build around this way.
No, I'm not because this bonus I'm not really too fussed about right now. Like I get it, like you're getting extra points for your processed goods at the end of the game, but I still seem to have some fleeting idea of maybe getting some extra settlements somewhere. I don't think that's going to materialize. But.
So I will build let's build a cheese factory here. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be 3 off. So 5 plus 4, that's $9 for that. And hopefully I'll be able to either build a cow to get the milk to convert that into cheese, or I'll just buy it from the market.
My go?
Here you go.
I really don't want to finish this contract before you. Because I prefer you to tee me up for the extra $1. Because I'm going to do 4 cotton, which gets me to 9.
Yeah.
And then you're going to do 3 cotton, which gets you the extra $1.
Woohoo!
No, it's not woohoo.
Every little bit can help.
Well, because there's been other instances where we've been short $1.
Mm-hmm.
But this $15 is actually something that's quite handy for me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to oh, that's interesting. So what I think I am going to do is I'm going to build a hold on. I'm going to build a sheep over here for $12.
Okay. And that is another settlement for you.
Mm-hmm.
My thing did not add a settlement. But before I go ahead and spend all my money and not do the one thing that's probably going to guarantee me a lot of points, I will spend the $4.
Yes, lock that down.
To upgrade the shipping. So now these are connected with these 6 over here. 7, 8, 9 total for there.
And you're in a good position. Like I'm pursuing this, but you're in a good position because you got a 1 there, which will be a new settlement. Like so, you can react to anything I throw your way right now.
Yep.
Which is good for you.
Thanks. and the one thing I should point out, I don't know if I was clear during the neighborhood bonus things, is that let's say if David built here, because this is across the water, he can't claim the neighborhood bonus, the neighboring bonus.
Yeah.
It can only be directly adjacent without having to cross water.
Michael?
Here we go. Complete your contract.
I don't want to, but it might be the best thing to do. So, okay, I'll set you up for $1. So I will complete my contract. I'll take 3 wool and 3 cheese.
Cotton goes up by 4.
Yeah, and I get $15 back. Oops. There we go.
I will complete my contract for 2 bread and a whiskey. That'll put Cotton at 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the extra.
You are welcome.
$1.
Mm-hmm.
But now you get first choice.
Yeah. There's one that stands out to me. There's a couple that stand out to me. I'm trying to figure out if I can get them all done. So, for starters, I will take...
Man, I wish I had some cheese to sell.
Yeah.
$14 would be
Yeah.
pretty good.
I think I want to take this guy. Let's see. But the cotton is such a poor... It's the most imported good, which means it's worth 3 points each. Whereas right now tobacco is
worth 5 points.
Is worth 5 points a piece. So this one here I'm liking, but I definitely need to get a lot of merchants to buy some wool, unless of course you have a sheep out there you haven't killed yet. Oh, you love killing your sheep.
Mm-hmm. And you would need to buy 3 more merchants.
Yeah, so it's going to cost me an additional $12 to do that.
But it would only be $1 a piece.
Well, provided that you had something out there. So otherwise, it would still cost me $9 more.
So
$21, but I got this guy here.
You have money in the bank.
I got these guys. Whereas this is a freebie here.
Mm-hmm.
For starters, I'm going to take this guy though.
For 15.
Yeah, for $15.
For me, I'm going to also spend 15 and take another contract. I'll take this one.
Okay, Michael.
Here we go.
I am going to I'm going to get a cow in the works here. So this cow, I'm going to trade this guy in for $15.
Yep.
And
you don't actually trade him in.
I keep him.
You take him off and you just get the extra money.
I get the extra money. So there's $15 for the cow.
Apparently just showing the world that you have such finely aged whiskey.
It's like Vinos with like the little critics there. So I'm going to have this. I'm putting him over there. So that gives me pay $11 for that.
And
so
that's another settlement.
Yeah, but this is going to be short-lived.
So now here's where we do something cool. here's where this bonus is going to be really nice, because I'm going to go here. I'm going to convert this 1 whiskey barrel into 2 bread. Now that was a free action. Oh look, I have 4 bread. That's just what this contract needs. So that's going to be 4 for that. That's another bonus buck. I think I've got like almost all the bonuses.
Oh, you got all the money. All the money.
And then I got $5 more for the actual contract itself.
I hope somebody out there is paying closer attention. No, I don't know what kind of accounting's going on over here. My turn?
Your turn.
Right. I had a plan, and it was to butcher this guy as fast as possible. So I will also complete this contract. So I've got a bread, a whiskey, and a steak. And I complete the contract. So I get the cotton moves up by 3.
And you get a buck.
Huzzah! Finally. There we go.
So cotton is definitely not going to be worth very much. $3 or 3 points a piece. Alright, now let's just get some stuff going. So for $10, 9 plus 1. Let's get this cow out over here. That's another settlement. So I'm up to 10. And then that'll also fuel my cheese.
My turn?
Your turn.
I will buy another contract, and the one that makes most sense to me is 4 whiskey. So first of all, I'll take this one off for $7. So I can actually, so I'll leave the 7 in there, and I owe another $8 to buy the contract. There we go.
So now I'm looking. Is it worth me taking another contract? I would spend 15. I'd have $17 left. I have no whiskey. I have no goods. So I don't think I'll be able to complete anything.
Well, see, this was my motivation, because then this at least ties me in contracts.
This is true.
So whereas I know I'm going to lose the settlement bonus at the end, so then I definitely didn't want to lose the contract bonus. That would suck.
So now what I want is...
Tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
You don't have much money.
I do not.
So I'm going to build another cheese, I think. Let's spend... He's going to be 4 plus 4, so that's going to be $8 to put him out right there.
I go.
Here we go.
I will complete this contract for 4 whiskey.
That puts sugarcane up by 4. You get a bonus buck.
Hooray! But more importantly, I'm tied with you in contracts right now.
Yep. I'm going to... So I could do that. Could do that. So let's spend 4 and get another merchant.
Okay, with $3, what can I do, Jeffrey? Tell me what I can do with $3. I can pass for $16. And that's important because money is also worth points at the end, is it not?
It is, every 10.
Every 10. So
now I'm also going to buy another merchant. This is something I did in my last game I played with Jenny.
Yeah.
That I thought was pretty cool. So that's my 4th merchant. I'm then going to spend $11. I'm going to put out my guy here. So that 9 plus 2, that's the 11. That's going to give me the other milk to get me another cheese. It also gives me another settlement. So I'm definitely locked that down. But more importantly, oh no! I thought that was where your sheep was, but it's across the river.
Oh, snap.
No.
Oh, so disappointed because you.
So instead of building him there, I will...
Here's a nice 6 spot for you.
Yeah. That would cost me an extra $4.
Plus your settlement goes down 1.
Plus my settlement goes down 1. But, so I've kind of miscalculated there. So you get to see, but I will buy for $1, my last $1, I will buy 1 wool, which is a point. I was hoping to buy 4 of them. And then that would have been 4 points there at the end.
Yeah, that's much more efficient because as opposed to $4 is worth not even half a point. Like, whereas this way you at least get some.
So had I bought 1 less guy, I would have been able to buy 3 then, so I cost myself a couple points. But then that's it. I'm gonna pass for 13.
But I don't think it'll matter here, Jeffrey.
It's not about beating your opponent, David. It's about doing the best you possibly can.
That's right. That's right.
So, money income, that will still count. So that's 50.
16, 20.
Then produce your goods. So I get 4 bread.
And
nice little 4 bread
4
token.
whiskey. 4 whiskey also gives me $12.
2 whiskey for me. And I get 2 cheese. Now we count up our imported goods.
But here's
for
a question
bonus.
for you, Jeffrey. Sorry to interrupt. Is with Clan Mackenzie, am I allowed to take that? Like, so in this last production mode, I moved them along. I have additional money there. Is that something I can actually now?
Let's take that off.
That's I don't think I've ever.
It says at any time. At any time. So I'm going to say that you can do that. For
okay, so yeah, I'll take him off for $7 more because that might make the difference of rounding. Whoops, that's 12. How about 7? You might like that better. There you go.
So now we count up our imported goods. I have 18.
I have 17. Just always one step behind you, Jeffrey.
So that's I get 30 plus another 17 on the track, and you had 17. You said.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 to get there plus 14 gets you there.
Thank you.
Then that is done, and then we go into in-game scoring, and there's a nice little score pad. So first we count our glory that we've accumulated. David has 34.
I like 44.
Oh, 44? That's also a good number.
Yeah, I like 44 better.
I like 47.
Mm-hmm. I was expecting you to give me 34 and you 47. Yeah.
Then basic goods, I only have 1 for 1 point.
I have 3 wolves.
Now we get 2 points for every upgraded good. So I have a total of 8. That's 16 points.
I have a total of 5, so that's 10.
And then for every $10.
I get 5.
I get 6.
And I'm 2 shy away from that last one.
Now on our contracts, like I said, some of them have hops down here in the bottom. We get 1 point for every one of those.
$22.
22.
Well, I have this 7 hoppy over there.
So I have 11. Now we look at what are these things worth. So cotton is only going to be worth 3 points because it's the most abundant. Sugarcane is in the middle, so that's going to be worth 4. And then tobacco down here is going to be worth 5.
Ooh, you got a lot of tobacco. Nice.
So now let's go through sugarcane. Is worth 3 apiece. I have a total of 8 for $24.
As do I. Oh.
Next, let's do sugarcane. It's 4 apiece. I have 4, so that's 16.
Wait a second. What did we do first? Did we do cotton first?
We did cotton.
Oh, sorry. I have 7. I counted my sugar cane instead of the cotton. Sorry about that.
So you have 21.
Yeah. So okay. So the sugar cane I have 8 times 4, so that's 32.
That's 32.
Okay.
And then finally, tobacco is worth 5 apiece. I have 6. That's 30 big ones.
And I have 2.
4, 10. Now we look at how many contracts we've completed. We both completed 6, so that's 8 points divided between the two of us.
Yeah.
4 points apiece. And then finally for the settlement bonus, I beat that one pretty handily. So 12 points for me and none for you. So let's finally do the counting. $115, $145, $147, $151 for David. Not a bad score.
Oh, sorry, can you move your... Oh, sorry.
48, 58, 64, 70, 81, 85, 105, 135, 145, 151, 155, 165, 167.
Let me recount this one here. 44, 47, 57, 62, 84, 105, 115, 148, 147, 147, 151. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So final score is 167 for me, 151 for you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Good
you,
game.
sir.
Yeah.
And something that I've noticed almost in every game that I've played, especially 2-player, is so had you had won that settlement bonus, you would have had 163 and I would have had 155.
Right.
So it came down to who had that last settlement bonus, because that 12-point difference is huge.
Well, especially in a 2-player game. I've played this. Have you played this more than 2 players?
I've played it 2 players and 3 players.
Okay, yeah, because I have found, like, even in a 4-player game, if we flip this, in a 4-player game, the settlement bonus is 18, 12, 6, and then 0 for the 4th player, and then the contract bonus is 12 for the person with the most contracts and 6 for the second most. So I found that when you're playing this with more players, you have to be involved. Like, you don't have to necessarily win one of these, but you definitely have to be involved.
Well, and the other thing so the map doesn't grow with more players. You can see how many
it does grow because you got these extra. Yeah,
you have the outer edges in a 3 and 4-player game, but still there's not as much land choice. All those little cheap spots, those $1, $2 spots, they get eaten up pretty fast, and then you're left with having to spend even more money.
But here's the thing with these cheap spots is when I first started playing this game, I was always preferentially, even during setup, going straight to the cheap spots. But then they're usually surrounded by expensive spots. Yeah. So you get the cheap spots. Like, woohoo! I got my guy in here. He's for $7, 6 plus 1. You're surrounded by 4s and 3s. You're like, Whereas if you want to get out and get a pasture going, sometimes it's nice to have a 1 and a 2 and a 1. Like, this is originally I was thinking the reason why I wanted to go here. So I thought I'd put out some cheap wheat because it was so expensive. But then I just got behind. I couldn't do that. But I had a vision of just kind of putting some cheap stuff out here, and then I could move over here and pick up another cheap spot this way. But to do that, it cost me a little bit of money to get there because there's only a mountain available. Or I could have put out a cheaper guy, but he's on a 6 space. And I was tempted to go there because he at least gives me access to this main lock here or whatever. So then that way you can start with your shipping bonus, start accessing and attacking this settlement bonus. But instead I went the cheaper route over here. But
the thing that I like about this game, so when you pass earlier, you get a little bit more money, and as you can tell, like even that last action, had I had $3 more, had I had passed once before you, I would have had the $3 extra to get the 3 extra points at the end for those merchants. The way that you could try and combo actions together, so it's like, okay, I needed whiskey, I'll build here, then in that same action I'll be able to buy the whiskey, so then I'm getting everything that I want done in fewer number of turns, so then I'm more likely to pass earlier in the turn to get more money. Same thing with these tiles, either getting the upgrades, you get those right away, you don't have to take them as separate actions, or even completing a contract and building on a tile for cheaper. You're saving money and you're getting another action done all in the same turn.
Well, like, honestly, on that, like the last game I played, I found like there's lots of these in-game bonuses. So the in-game bonus can either be a tech upgrade, which is any one of these 3 things on the bottom of your player board, money, or this you're not having to pay the hex cost here. And I'm always preferentially looking for these bonuses, especially a lot of games I played where the end of round glory bonus is actually where you get extra glory for building on 5 and 6 hexes. And so I'm always looking for these. And I found this game, I was a little bit frustrated because you were nabbing them up. So you got a couple, but there wasn't a ton of them out there. And so then you're thinking more, there wasn't a lot of in-game incentive to get these contracts, where normally you get a contract, gives you a little bit of a boost towards something else. So then I'm like, well, this one here I like because it gave me lots of hops, plus it gave me an upgrade before, I believe it was round 3 that we actually got glory for.
Well, and the other thing I find is you can spend money, say on a contract like this is only in-game points. This is giving me nothing during the game. But if you can kind of combo things together that give you bonuses that allow you to do more, you kind of get that kind of snowball effect. The more you can get done in the first round means the more you're going to be able to get done in the next round and the next round. So taking these ones earlier that give you those bonuses or give you the like this one gave me $10 and being able to build for free. That's essentially a free building.
But the end of the game sucks.
But the end of the game, I don't get as many points.
However, in this particular, it was a fifth round. We actually got points for our imported goods, so that still gave you a little bit of something here. Now, the thing I like best about this, well, I like a lot of. I really like this. I love this game. Is lots of times when I'm playing on a board and there's kind of the spatial component to it where you got stuff over here and stuff over here, stuff over here. I get lost in the detail. Like then somebody will go do something over here and you're like, whoops, and it was just out of my vision. And I don't like those games, or just because like you really have to be studying all the aspects of the board to see what's going on. The thing I like about this one, I should also say, is Scythe. I'm bringing this one up because it's a big board, and the way that it makes the board smaller is by giving you all these abilities, like where you can go tunnel to mountain, lake to lake. You can do all these things, and I don't like that because it's still such a big board. And I'm trying to then someone comes up behind your back and gets you, and you're like Whereas the thing I love about this game is that neighborhood bonus. And so then what it does is then it incentivizes me to always be paying attention to what you're building and where, and it makes the board feel small. And it makes me feel like it focuses me in on where I want to be, and as well, even the shipping size or the shipping length, it also focuses me on where I can go. And so I find that even with a 2-player game, the board feels tight. Even though it's again, we get rid of those outside ones. That being said, is I've played this game solo quite a bit, and you don't get those neighborhood bonuses. And I still found I got the same experience from playing the game. I really enjoyed, as you were saying, trying to get more efficient with what you're doing.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about this game is the more I play it, the more I want to be efficient in different aspects of the game. So when I first played, I kind of just built. I didn't even take into account these port bonuses here, as well as the neighborhood bonuses of building next to people. But the more I play, and the more comfortable I get with the game mechanisms, the more I'm taking advantage of when am I using these port bonuses, when can I build next to somebody to get the item that I need to complete the contract, to then allow me to build on a tile for free. So I'm comboing all these things together, and I'm taking advantage of all these little areas for being more efficient in the game. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah. My closing remark on this is so I've read the designers on BGG. He has a geek list of all the games that he was inspired by. Your camera's hot, so it's all the games that inspired by. And one of the games that he said, and most of the games I should also mention that he said he drew inspiration from are some of my favorite games. And the one game that he pointed out where when we're talking about these different contracts is the Voyages of Marco Polo. Now, the Voyages of Marco Polo is me and my wife's and mine favorite game. Like, we play that one all the time. And we love that component of having these little tasks that you need to do, and you need to get, fulfill these contracts. The thing that I like that he's done with this game is, unlike Marco Polo, these contracts don't get flushed.
So you can work towards.
Yeah, you can work towards them. You know that they're always going to be there. Whereas Marco Polo, if you miss them in a round, they're completely gone. And I like that as well, because then this whole, if you work through all your processed goods buildings here, then you can get these bonuses where you can actually draw them. And that, at first, again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I didn't really realize the significance of that. But the fact that the contracts aren't getting flushed, this actually plays a role in the game. And the other thing I really like about it is that contracts aren't the be-all, end-all, but then when in doubt, it gives you something to focus on as well. And so I really like how he's integrated that, but also made it feel different. And we find that when we play Voyages of Marco Polo, even though it's the same game, we must have, I'm going to venture to say, over 30 plays of that game easily. And every time it feels fresh to us. And this game for me now, I think I must be close to 10 if I count my solo.
Yeah, this is my 9th play.
Yeah, then because I know I was higher than you, so and this one here is it just feels fresh and different every time, and then depending on even who you're playing with, you might be a different style. And there's that one game where we're trying to is my wife and I are playing a different couple. There was this one spot that was right here where the only way somebody could link up their settlement bonus from here to there was by grabbing that spot and trying to encourage the other players, because I was out of turn sequence, please build there, because then the guy couldn't connect anyway. But then he built there, and then he added another 3 settlement, and it made a difference. But a wonderful game.
Yeah, and my last point, because you were mentioning how they drew inspiration from Voyages of Marco Polo, the other thing that this is often compared to is Terra Mystica. The one thing that I like that this game does that's different than Terra Mystica is these end of round bonuses. In Terra Mystica, these are just for that round bonus. So in Terra Mystica, it's like building a dwelling, you get 2 points for every dwelling that round, or a trading post or something like this. These, and that's what you do during the round. These are end of round bonuses that accumulate. So here, this one is giving me a benefit for everything I've done all game, not just that round. So it promotes maybe a little bit more of building a more wholesome strategy, because these accumulate throughout the round. Like, can you imagine if this one was at the very last round? You're getting 1 point for every single thing that you are producing during the game, not just every building that you build on the very last round. So I like how those just accumulate, and you can kind of start working towards the later ones even earlier in the game. Like this upgrade one, I was doing upgrades in the first 2 rounds just because I knew this one was coming up and was working towards that. So it's not just I'm just focused on this one. I can look at all of them and start working towards those. So I really like that.
I agree with you 100%. What can be frustrating about that, if you're playing solo, is this is one of these games that gives you a score chart of how did you do, and there's certain certain things that if they're at the end, you can really score a lot more points, and like the timing of that matters. So
like obviously this one I scored 18, you scored 17. If this was in the first round, we would have scored like 3 or 4,
exactly. And so that was the one. I think I remember one game I scored, and I told you my score. I'm like, well, I ended up scoring something like 30 or 40 points just off that one, because it was the end of the 5th round to actually score it. So then you kind of got to take that with a bit of a grain of salt. But I agree with you. I think that is, and it's also always random. Yeah. So then it kind of focuses you on slightly different things.
All right. Well, that's our first playthrough of a game, Clans of Caledonia. Let me know in the comments how it was, how it sounded, how it looked. I want to do more of these going forward. And if people are enjoying these sorts of things, then I'll look at potentially upgrading some of the equipment, because that camera shutting off every 20 minutes is annoying.
And also, I should add, if you have any good suggestions of how I can beat Jeffrey, feel free to leave that in the comments below. Like he generally beats me every time we play, so I could definitely use strategic advice.
Give him pointers.
Yeah, that's
all right.
right.
Well, I saw people were jumping in and out during the stream. Thank everyone for joining me, and for those of you who watch afterwards, I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and thanks for allowing me to participate, Jeffrey.